Before we begin, I want to make sure that you have the Unleashing You retreat on your radar, because just the fact that you're tuning into this podcast means the Unleashing You retreat is right up your alley. The reason I created the Unleashing You retreat is because as women, we tend to look to everyone else for the answers. We somehow think that everyone else knows better than we do, when in reality, tapping into your own intuition is actually the key to living a happy and fulfilled life. And that's how I've created the career and life I have now, and what we'll teach you how to do during this retreat. An inner shift like this will leave you with tools that you'll use for the rest of your life. This retreat is so much more than a girls' trip. This is a transformation. If I've piqued your interest, I want to personally invite you to join us in Steamboat Springs, Colorado on September 19th through the 22nd. During our time together, we will go through coaching workshops and other deep personal development activities that will uncover aspects of yourself you never even knew. Work like this would take months or years to do on your own, and we're going to get you there in just a few short days. Not to mention, we'll be staying in a gorgeous mountain home, complete with a private chef, so you don't have to lift a finger. If you are ready for a pampering getaway where you can recharge your batteries and feed your soul, send me a message on Instagram or visit acrprofessionalcoaching.com to learn more and reserve your spot. Spots are very limited, so do not wait. And I'll see you in the mountains. Now, let's get on to today's show. Welcome to Unleashing You. This podcast is your permission slip to create success your way. I'm your host, Amanda Riffey, a certified success coach and female business leader who has climbed her way up the corporate ladder. I've been through burnout and back and found the tools to bring fun and enjoyment to my career while creating powerful results and leading in a way that feels authentic to me. This show brings you conversations with women just like you who have created massive success for themselves and are doing it in their own way. We'll hear about their personal journeys of growing their career while still prioritizing the things they love most. If you are ready to be challenged and encouraged to reach your next level, then buckle up, sister, because the road to dreamy success begins here. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Unleashing You. Today, we have a special episode for you. I have Ashley Johnson joining me, and we are going to do this a little bit differently than I have done any episode before, where I have guest episodes. Typically, I'm interviewing them and really going through their story and, making sure that you all are taking away just so much from them. And with this one, not that I couldn't do a future episode where we interview Ashley because she has lots to give, but Ashley is also the business manager in my business, ACR Professional Coaching, and she's also a longtime friend. And we thought we would just come on and just have a conversation around a review of the Unleashing You retreat because she was there, and then a preview of Unleashing You Live, which is coming up in February. So welcome, Ashley, to the show.
I am so excited to be here. It's like I feel like I've been involved with the podcast for so long, but never actually sat on this side of the podcast. So I'm excited.
Yes. And so just to fill everybody in, on the backside, Ashley does a lot of making sure that the episodes go out on time, that we have the social content to support it. So like you said, you are so involved with the podcast, but people don't get to hear you on the podcast. So I'm really pumped to have this conversation.
And it's a good conversation to have now that we have a chance to kind of, like you were saying, review what just happened with the retreat, but then really looking forward to February and the
Yes.
live event.
Yes, for sure. So we are just going to do no script, just an organic conversation between friends that just really talks through the Unleashing You retreat. So if you weren't there, we'll definitely recap that because we're going to do it again next year. So I want you to know everything that went down in the retreat. And then, as you mentioned, we also have Unleashing You Live coming up in February. Tickets are on sale for that already. So just to kind of give people a view into what to expect with that event in our own words.
And VIP tickets, nonetheless, making sure they snag a VIP ticket because I know those are
going quickly.
Commodity. Those are getting snatched up fast.
Yes. Now I'm kind of wondering, like, should I have done more VIP tickets? But no, because
I think it's exclusive and it's for people that listen and follow directions and get their tickets first.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk a little bit about the retreat. I think, so the Unleashing You retreat, many of you know, especially if you've listened to this podcast or worked with me for a while, know this was my first retreat that I had ever done. And it was an idea that just came to me that did not seem logical, did not seem like the right time or that I was ready for that. But there was just something inside of me that was like, just do it anyway. Like, you can make this happen. And I did, with Ashley's help and with other people's help as well. But we had a fantastic retreat. Would you not agree? Like, I feel like it was perfect.
I think the funniest thing and the thing that stands out to me is one thing I heard over and over and over again that whole kind of weekend was, I can't believe this is her first time. Like, I can't believe this is the first retreat. I can't believe this is the first time that this has happened. And I think that spoke volumes to just organized, and it was really perfect. Like, I know we talked afterwards and we were both thinking there's nothing that would have done different. Like, It was so good. And I think I was amazed by the people that showed up that didn't know a soul walking into those. Like, you showed up, you literally showed up at a house that you'd never been to, met people you've never met. And I swear by the end, there was nobody that would say they had not made a friend, 2 friends, 3 friends, 10 friends, like people that are still in touch with each other even now, a month later.
Yeah, you're so right. And I think there is so much to say. I mean, thinking about the retreat, and then also if we kind of glimpse into Unleashing You Live, one of the biggest things that can stop us from doing something like that is if we don't have a friend to go with us, or we don't have somebody else that can show up with us. And I've been in that boat too, of like, I'll go if somebody can go with me.
Yeah. I mean, how many people, even people that weren't even nervous about the retreat, were nervous about leaving their kids or, just the whole lead up to going to something for yourself. I think it just takes, you've just got to take that step, right? And there was nobody that was, the first day being like, oh, I miss my kids. I mean, you know me. I was like, I miss my dog. Like, I can't believe I left my dog for 4 days. But there was nobody that by 3 hours in wasn't like, wait a second, this is the most fun. I am getting spoiled and pampered and I'm eating well and I'm doing this for myself and I'm getting something out of this.
Yeah. And you're so right. Like, it's always that lead up of like, that's when the anxiety kicks in. That's when it's like, oh, okay, I thought I could do this.
What do I pack? What do I need to wear? What am I supposed to like? It's just all of it. I swear it's hard for even grown women to just take that step outside of their own comfort zone. And whether it's traveling by themselves or renting a car and traveling through, it's a lot. And you don't realize it until you like listen to each other and hear each other's stories about everybody had some kind of anxiety before they got there. And I know that everybody walked out the door on that Sunday with a completely different mindset from what they walked.
Yeah, you're so right. And so,
if someone's listening to this and thinking about, yeah, I'd love to do a retreat like that someday, attend one or host one, but attend one, or, I've been looking at that Unleashing You Live event, but I'm not going to know anyone, or I might have to travel across the country to go get there. Like, what would your advice be to people in that situation?
Like, just do it. Like, just book the ticket, buy the ticket. I promise you are going to make friends. I mean, Amanda, like obviously you were kind of the glue of everybody, like knew people and knew exactly what you were walking into. And I think the rest of us probably were very like trusting.
Yeah.
I was supposed to say, Amanda's invited, these people have showed up and they've showed up for you and they've showed up for what it is they know they're going to get from you when you say, I'm going to have a retreat. But I mean, some of these people, like your friend Kim, I was like, sorry, she's not your friend anymore. She's my best friend. Like, that's my new best friend.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal when you get, I always laugh and say that like mean girls get so much attention, but it's the good girls and the nice girls that like find each other. And I swear we all just found each other.
Yes.
And it was because you put us together in this space that just felt super safe. I think more than anything, like everybody was just comfortable and safe and open-minded to kind of everything.
Yes. And that's why I always say, like, if you see my content or the things that I post, like, it's not just cute words around, like, we want to cheer each other on and like put yourself in a room with women who want to support each other. Like, that's truly what it feels like. And some people haven't historically had friendships like that where people genuinely want to support each other.
I think you're exactly right. And you nail that when you say there's people that don't necessarily know that. And they don't know that as a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old or a 40-year-old, or they've maybe not even experienced it as a 50. Like it's not a guarantee that you're going to have those friendships or make those connections. And this was really a space where you just saw it happen for, the whole time and just organically. Nobody was forced to be friends with anybody,
Right.
Forced to do anything outside your comfort zone. And it was just easy.
Yeah. And I loved seeing the connections and collaborations that, like you said, were organically happening between people. Because like you said, like I might have been the catalyst originally or the person who had interacted with each one of those people previously. But like watching them partner up, watching them collaborate, watching them group off and go work on different things, like that was such a cool experience to be able to see.
I think that's the thing that I have forgotten with the Unleashing You Live event is because that was last February. So when we do that again this coming February, like that happened. It just happened just like the retreat did. And it's just interesting because the retreat just felt like the live event in a more intimate, smaller setting. Like,
yes,
it's just interesting how people really do find each other and you make friends and you connect, and it's just cool.
Yeah. So two things that I just thought of when you were talking around that is, number one, like if you're feeling called to attend something like that, and I'm a firm believer in that. We had a conversation about this literally earlier today about myself. Like if you're feeling really called or you're looking at the things and they resonate with you, but you're just not sure, there's something there. There's something that is meant for you in that experience. It might be a new connection. It might be a new friend. It might be a personal growth aha moment. Could be a little bit of everything. But I feel like if you're being called towards that, you're being called there for a reason. Like there's something there for you. That's your intuition. So kind of lean into that. The other thing that you mentioned when you're talking about like, the Unleashing You Live and then the retreat, and the retreat just kind of felt like the same thing, but on a little bit more intimate experience. That's actually what I'm now equating the VIP experience of Unleashing You Live to, like a mini retreat. And that kind of came to me after we did the retreat. And I was looking at all the things we have for the VIP experience for Unleashing You Live. But, we're doing a sound bath. We're doing a sweet social at the penthouse suite in the hotel with, 20-ish other women. We're giving them all kinds of different gifts and surprises that we can't say yet, but there's so much. You get a private call, all of those things that you're getting in that VIP experience for Unleashing You Live is kind of like a mini retreat.
And you know what else that kind of made me think about? Because I did say the retreat felt similar to the live as far as like the connections. I don't want people to think it feels the same as far as content, because I do think you walk away from a live event and a retreat and coaching with you and any kind of thing that you attend really with a different little piece of information that you didn't get from the last event. I think it's safe to say if you went to the live event last February, like book your ticket and come again, because you're going to get something totally different and you're in a different place and they're in a different, like it's just going to be new information, and just the way they take things is going to be different, I think.
Yes. I mean, because honestly, we could do the exact same thing. We're not doing the exact same thing. We've already planned majority of it. We know what we're covering, most, our workshops and speakers. But even if we did do the exact same thing we did last year and you came again, you would walk away with a new message, because just to your point, you're always filtering whatever speaker or whatever messaging, whatever thing you're listening to through your own lens of what is needed for you in that moment. So even if it was the exact same, which again, it's not, you would still walk away with a totally different message. And I think this year for February, like it is upgraded. we are upgrading, because you know me, I can't just do the same.
No, there is no just like, hey, let's just ease into this. Like maybe, I don't know, like 5-year plan. No.
Nope. We're doing it. So let's talk a little bit more about Unleashing You Live and what to expect in February. So
let me ask you what you're most excited about. Now that you've kind of had almost a year, it'll be a year when you get to the next event. What are you most excited to kind of see happen at the next event?
Good question. Nobody asks me questions on this podcast. Excuse me.
That's why I'm here.
No, I love it so much. What I am most excited about is, oh my gosh, how do I say this in like one thing?
I know, because I'm excited about a lot.
Can I say two things?
Yeah, you can have two.
The first is I'm excited to watch that community grow, because the people who showed up for the very first one, again, were kind of just trusting in me, trusting in that vision, and then we all saw it come to life. I am excited to watch that grow this year and see that at the next level. So meaning more women, our pop-up shops that we're going to have are nearly, like, we already have locked in right now almost the exact number of pop-up shops that we had last February. And it's only October. So like we are going to probably quadruple the amount of pop-up shops that we have, that we can shop from, that, we can have all of that fun with. So I'm just really excited to watch it grow and see that next level this year. The other thing, and still kind of along those lines, is I'm really excited about the VIP experience, because we did not have that last year. And this February, like having a whole nother day of the event. So now it's February 2nd and 3rd. It's a Sunday and a Monday. Anyone who was there last year knows it was only Monday last year. So that whole VIP experience is completely new and upgraded. And that is something that I am super, super excited to just be able to pour back into those women who want to kind of take that to the next level.
Yeah, well, I mean, all I have to say is there's no talking you out of a VIP event. And then it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was like, okay, I guess it's going to be a really...
That's how we roll.
It is like really VIP.
Yes, because originally, so this will be funny story to share, because not everyone knows this. When we were planning the VIP, I was like, okay, yeah, we want, some type of ticket upgrade for people, maybe something on Sunday, maybe a happy hour. I think was how it started, right? Like maybe a little happy hour for people on Sunday, because we're doing it at a hotel this year. So, people will be there. We can, sell that VIP upgrade. Then the idea came for the sound bath, and it was like, oh, what if, or we could do a sound bath instead of the happy hour. That could be fun, just help them feel refreshed. recharged, like just ready for Monday. And then I had a friend mention that somebody had done the penthouse suite at a place before, and that's what they did for their VIP. And I was like, ooh, okay, that could be really cool. So now the happy hour idea is back on. And I couldn't decide between.
And then next she was like, we're going to book Taylor Swift and she's going to be there. And I was like, okay, we have to stop somewhere. We have to stop. Taylor's not available that week.
Taylor is not available. However, we did book the sound bath. We did book the penthouse suite. And we are doing a whole social hour in that penthouse suite. So,
and it's gorgeous.
It is. Like, it's so cool.
I think what people probably don't realize about you and events and things like that, it is so much more than just the event and the content. It is about creating like a whole vibe.
Yeah.
So, immediately, and we laughed about this. You'd go look at a place for an event and that you'd be like, nope, not the right vibe. And we could just tell pretty quick and say, that one's not going to work. So I knew when you saw this place that was the one.
Yeah, you're totally right. So let's talk about that hotel a little bit. So it's the Raleigh Hotel in downtown Denver. If anyone is familiar with the Denver area, it's in McGregor Square.
Such a cool space.
It is such a cool space. It's right outside of the ballpark, and it's just meant to like be so walkable, entertaining. There's shops, there's restaurants, like it's just the coolest area. And the Raleigh Hotel is right smack dab in the middle of it. So like you walk out of the hotel and you like everything is walkable. So if you are traveling in from somewhere else and you're flying, I would say just get transportation from the airport. Like you're not going to need a car once you get to the hotel because everything is walkable. But the hotel is just gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's luxurious. Like you said, when I went and toured it, I was like, this is the place. Like I was so lit up.
It's like just cool and hip and like,
yes,
fresh.
It's the vibe.
I think it's like a whole vibe. And last year it was kind of the same thing, like the space that was like so unleashing you live for year one. And this just feels even more perfect for year two.
Yes. Yeah. And there's so much space for our pop-up shops. Let's actually talk a little bit about that because if somebody hasn't been before, they might not totally realize what we're talking about with those pop-up shops.
That's like such a fun part.
It
like the mingling and the shopping and like the wait a second, do I need that shirt? Yes, I do, while I'm also attending an event. It's just so much fun.
Yeah. So like the agenda for the day for the main event on Monday is, number one, like just picture coming in, the energy's electric, the music is pumping, like it is all women who just want to support each other, want to have a good time. Plus it's a Monday. So we always say like it's the best Monday you ever had because Mondays are not always our favorite, but this one is. And so you come in and then we will kick off, we'll call it a show, right? We kick off the show and we might jump into a coaching workshop. We might jump into a journaling activity or a reflection, get you out of your comfort zone a little bit, meeting some new people in a really, like you said before, safe way that doesn't feel like, it's going to feel a little stretchy, but it's not going to feel scary. Don't worry. There's no cheesy icebreakers. There's no two truths and a lie.
I am an anti-role player. If anybody ever has to role play anything, I am like out the door, not having it. There was none of that. So I think I think that's a good thing to point out when you say that, because I think a lot of people think it's going to push me outside my comfort zone. Yes. In other words, thinking about things different than what you've thought about them before and really setting goals for yourself, but you're not going to be doing like you said, cheesy icebreakers and
it's not a stuffy professional development conference. So we're not just sitting there in our chairs all day listening to speaker after speaker after speaker. Everything is just carefully curated to really help support your growth. We are going to have a theme this year through our content. And I think this is the first time I'm really talking about this on this type of platform, is really around like being the CEO of your own personal brand. And so like that, it doesn't matter if you're on the corporate track. It doesn't matter if you are a business owner or somewhere in between those two. we all have the control and the power to be able to create our own brand, meaning influencing how people talk about us in a room of opportunities. What do we want to be known for? Who do we want to be known as? And so that's going to be a big theme throughout. We've got some really cool things already in store. We're going to be doing some stuff with colors and wardrobe, and even just like the colors that we wear, how that is going to tell our story.
And I just saw that on the Today Show the other day. So
No,
you'll be
you
like,
didn't.
I mean, it's like all the rage
You're
right
so
now.
on
Like,
trend.
figuring out your colors and the swatches and like what you should be wearing. Like this is all just stuff though that is so important to like what we do as women every day. Like being confident in what we're wearing and knowing that that's the color I should be wearing, or being able to speak in a group just about what you do or like what you want to be doing. It's some real life practical.
It really is, because it's such an additional element. Like if you're going to walk into a boardroom, or you're going to walk into a presentation, or you're going to walk into a proposal,
or you're going to walk into your kid's school, or you're going to I mean, there's so many things that we think I've got to do this, or I've got to, it's not all about climbing the corporate ladder. Like if you are a stay-at-home mom that just, you are going to get something out of this.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So we're going to be doing just some really big deep dive into who we are, who we want to become, how do we want to portray that in the best way possible. And then throughout the day, we have really large breaks where it's great for integrating the ideas that you might have just come up with. It's great for, maybe you just met somebody and you didn't have a chance to really like talk to them that much because we were jumping into an activity. So you can, strike up conversations. And then it's also a time to shop, because we have female-owned pop-up shops that partner with us that will be set up around the event space, that are offering just really great things to help support you, again, in your growth, in your journey. So for example, we'll probably have a couple of boutiques. We don't have any boutiques yet, but we've got some in the works. So probably some boutiques like you were talking about that we can physically shop from there. We have Samara Dawn Art that will be there. She makes the most incredible pieces. I have 2 of them in the background of my office, and she's even looking at doing some custom pieces just for the event. I can't give away too much because I want to make sure that, I'm not over promising, but she's looking at some custom stuff to really tie in the promises that you make to yourself in the event. We have Sparkling Alchemy permanent jewelry. She does piercings too, like all kinds of things to give you a permanent reminder of the promises that you make. So even the pop-up shops are carefully selected to really just drive home the whole purpose of the event, which is pouring back into yourself.
I think what people don't realize is like just how intentional you are with almost like everything. And it doesn't come across rehearsed. It's not a rehearsed or an intentional like that, but it's intentional in the fact that they're going to get something out of it. And you have carefully thought about what they're going to get out of, whether it's a coaching session or a journaling exercise or a pop-up shop, or are you going to feel better about yourself because now you know what colors to wear? Or are you going to get a headshot and now you're going to be able to put your best self forward in that way? I think it's just so like unintentionally intentional. That sounds crazy.
Yeah.
But it all just comes together and it just creates this really cool, not just an event, but it's an experience. It's not even just an event.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you said that, because that's the whole intention. And that's, I think maybe even, as we're kind of wrapping up this conversation, one of the biggest things that I want people to take away from is, if you sign up for anything that has Unleashing You, it's the Unleashing You retreat, Unleashing You live, whatever may come in the future, who knows, all of those events are meant to be more than the event itself. It's meant to be an experience and something that is going to stay with you well beyond the hours of that event. Like everything we put together with intentionality. We put together with purpose, and we really try to think through every detail that we can to give you the biggest value and just to give you that life-changing experience.
I've said this before, I'll say it again. You truly want people to succeed. You want people to be their best self. And if it means coming to a live event, if it means coming to a retreat, if that means one-on-one coaching, like really there is something for everybody in every little piece that you offer. You know, some people have probably been listening to the podcast and have listened to, 25 episodes?
Yeah.
They've listened to all 25 episodes, but are still trying to figure out kind of like where they fit in next. Like buy the ticket, come to the live event and just see what you get from it. Because I can guarantee you will get something from it. It'll probably be something that makes you cry because you didn't even know you needed it.
Yeah.
That's kind of the cool thing is watching people like come to things and discover things about themselves that they didn't even know they needed or were going to get from an event or a retreat or whatever it is. And just watching kind of that self-discovery. But you always want people, you are not afraid of helping somebody and them becoming better than you.
Oh, yeah.
At
No.
what they're doing. Like you are the person that will prop us all up and make us better just from being that person at that event.
Well, thank you.
Well, and you don't even know you need that stuff sometimes.
Right? And you don't even know that some of those answers are already within you,
Yeah.
right? You're like, well, I don't know what to do, or I don't have that clarity or whatever. It's like, I promise you it's in there. It's in there.
Yeah.
You just have to be in the right type of setting with maybe the right type of questions to bring it out. So yes, I 100% agree with you. I think even if you're just not sure, if there is something in there that resonates with you, it's there for a reason. Just get in the room. Get in the room.
I've heard people say like, I don't know what it is I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I don't know what it is I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like I'm not doing enough when I hear her or when like, it is not about what you are doing or what you're not doing. It's just about what you want in kind of the next phase of your life. Like, where are you headed? There's something for everybody.
Yeah. And there's different seasons for different things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay. Beautiful. So I know we were chatting right before we hit record and you challenged me and you're like, well, what kind of discount are we going to get people for listening to this episode? And I was like,
It's like, I feel like they
I don't
deserve
know.
something. They've listened to me, your non-celebrity guest on episode whatever this is. Like, they're going to be like, give me something for this.
I think people are going to love your banter. But yes, so thank you to Ashley because this was her idea. But for listening this far, for betting on yourself, for investing in yourself, even just investing this last, 30 minutes to pour back into yourself, because even just listening to this podcast is an investment of your time. We want to give you a discount to Unleashing You live tickets. So if you DM me on Instagram, so for anyone who doesn't know, my Instagram handle is at @AmandaRiffy_coaching. It's in the show notes, so you can click on it, get right there. If you DM me the word discount, that's all you have to send, just the word discount, I will give you the discount on Unleashing You live tickets. So I'll basically put it back to the pre-sale price for you. And thank you to Ashley for that, because I was totally not even thinking about that. But yeah, so you would save, can't even think about, I mean, it's a significant amount between where it is now and the pre-sale price. And the pre-sale price was really only available to those who came last year and those who are on my email list. So DM me the word discount and we'll get you the pre-sale price. Get in the room.
It's going to be so fun. Like, if you're on the fence, if you're thinking, I should do this, just like do it.
Yeah.
For yourself.
I love it.
Take that money, invest in yourself for once.
Yeah. Great point. Great point. Especially as we're even thinking about, I mean, I don't know, I'm already thinking about holiday shopping and stuff. And it's always like this is the gift for you. Like,
yeah.
Get yourself, we get a gift for every single other person in our lives.
Treat yourself to a nice hotel room, come join the VIPs, get a nice little experience there. Like, make this something for yourself and really treat yourself for it.
Oh, I love that. I love it. Okay, awesome. So thank you, Ashley. And I'd love to hear y'all's feedback. So if you want Ashley back on the pod, like just let me know because we can do some follow-up episodes. Or
if you get a lot of people saying never again, don't ever do, I'll be like, okay, I really
if
need
I
that.
get that feedback, Ashley, I'll just be like, oh, sorry, no one responded.
Nobody said anything.
No one responded. So I just don't know. But yes, thank you so much for coming on and just talking through both the retreat and Unleashing You Live. And both Ashley and I hope to meet or see again so many of you at the event February 2nd and 3rd in Denver.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you'd like to continue this conversation, connect with me on Instagram and say hello. You can find me at AmandaRiffy_coaching. In the meantime, if you know you are ready to step into the next incredible version of you and want to completely accelerate your personal and professional growth, let's work together. I offer one-on-one private coaching as well as workshops and in-person events. There's really something for everyone. To learn more, visit my website at acrprofessionalcoaching.com or send me a DM on Instagram and start a conversation. And don't worry, I truly want all of us to succeed. So I promise I will never steer you wrong. Let's create a career and life you love. Chat with you again soon.